With the Chicago Bulls making a deal for Josh Giddey, it signifies that the Chicago Bulls are perhaps looking to go younger. But would that mean that they would still be interested in bringing in a veteran like KCP from the Denver Nuggets in free agency? We're going to be talking about the intriguing and interesting free agent signings the Chicago Bulls could make to help build up this roster moving into the future. This is Rico Greenhowe, and this is another episode of Bulls Digest. And before we jump into it, I want to let you know that 76.6% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with the latest news and happenings around your Chicago Bulls. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the first topic of the day, which is KCP to the Bulls. All right, guys, and so this has come out, I believe, in Yahoo Sports, and I think you can find this in a lot of different places right now. But they're talking about the fact that KCP would be interested in coming to Chicago if they move on from Patrick Williams, and they're also saying that he would perhaps be interested in the Magic because of the cap space, and they're also saying that Philadelphia, who has cap space, might be an interesting fit for this veteran wing player. So initially my thoughts are this. I mean, we're reported on reportedly out there, saying that we want to bring Patrick Williams back. And I mean, that's fine if we're going to bring Patrick Williams back on an acceptable price point. I think with the amount of money that Patrick Williams is wanting to make, I just can't see that happening. I just think that Patrick Williams, for us Chicago Bulls fans, is the future that never showed up for the present, unfortunately. And I think that it's time to just go ahead and let Patrick Williams go. Just my opinion. But I can't see KCP wanting to come to Chicago. I don't see him wanting to be a bridge player for Chicago, because that's exactly what he would be looked upon to do. He would be a guy that is going to be a veteran presence in that locker room, which is fine. You absolutely need vets, but I just wouldn't see KCP at this point in time wanting to come to Chicago and be a mentor. I mean, he's going to get the minutes. He's definitely going to, I think, get the shots that he's looking for. But at some point, you would have to think that if Chicago is going younger, that would mean that would probably cut into his playing time, because now the Bulls are looking to experiment and see a little bit more with what they would have at the youth standpoint. But I mean, with KCP and the numbers that he's put up, guys, I mean, we're looking at a guy that obviously can go out and get you double figures, but I think that more importantly, when you look at it, the shooting percentage from downtown is what we would be after. Here's a guy that can stretch the floor, he can knock down three-pointers, and then look at the amount of games that he has played. He's played in quite a bit of games, guys. Look at this. I mean, even dating back from the beginning when he was out there in Detroit, 80, 82, 76, 76. Like, this guy plays in a lot of games. So it should be he should get an applause, man, for the amount of games that he plays. And this reminds me a lot of what DeMar DeRozan does at times for us, guys. He shows up to work every day. So I love that about KCP. I couldn't see him wanting to come back to the same situation that he had back in his early days in Detroit, guys. I wouldn't want him to come back to that. And I think that he's probably better served probably going to a place like Philadelphia. I think that that's probably a place where he fits well, either coming off the bench or maybe starting alongside Maxey and whatever they want to do out there. I think that fits the build for what they want to do, especially with their president of basketball operations, who likes to focus a lot on offense. So I think that makes a lot of sense, guys. And it's just talking a little bit more into the KCP situation. I mean, he's looking to make around 20 plus million range. And here's somebody that is in his 30s as well. And it just doesn't make a lot of sense, again, for, Chicago to really make this type of deal, guys. And so, I couldn't see Chicago doing this. And so, let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking, and that kind of helps us shift focus, I think, into the next part of this video, that with the team going younger with Giddey, I think that is what is going to happen with the Chicago Bulls. Now, are they going into a full rebuild? I don't know. I mean, it certainly looks like it's starting to point in that direction. They're going to have to get a bit more athletic. And I think we've talked about this several times on the channel that they need to address the wing position. They need to address the front court. They need to get a power forward. They need to get a center, guys. And so there's a couple names out there that I think the Chicago Bulls would be best served going after, especially in the front court. Now who knows what we're going to do in the draft? I've said it several times. I think that Khalil Ware is a guy that we should go after. Tyler Smith, he's kind of growing on me, but I think that we could still do something else. And I would only suggest that we're doing this if we're going to get an additional first-round pick in this year's draft. Then maybe we take a chance on that type of project. But other than that, guys, if we're not, I'd say that we would, severely address the center first. But, going into it, free agents, the Bulls should go ahead and pick up guys. So I'm thinking that we would focus a little bit more on the front court and mainly the center position, or somebody that could go alongside of Khalil Ware. All right, assuming that we go ahead and we don't mess that up. I'm saying that you can get a guy like Nick Claxton. Perhaps you can get this guy. I think he might still have an offer sheet out there as well. Like, he might be restricted. But if we were to possibly be able to get a guy like Nick Claxton, I would love to have this guy out there. He's certainly a rim protector, great in the pick and roll. I think that he would definitely check off a lot of boxes for us. And another guy here is going to be Hartenstein from New York. I think that we've been interested in Mitchell Robinson, and I think that Hartenstein would be a terrific fit for us as well. Like, the strong defensively, a great rebounder, and he has a nose to score the basketball, and he doesn't necessarily need to have a play run for him, right? So I think both of those players could perhaps play with a guy like Khalil Ware, because Khalil Ware can stretch the floor too, right? I don't think that him stepping out at the NBA three-point range is going to deter his game at all. And the workouts that I've saw, he also can hit that pick and pop as well. So, I mean, he has a very, very versatile game, and you're looking at the fact that he will run the floor. Both of those players that I listed, either Hartenstein or Nick Claxton, both fit the bill for athletic front court players that could run with Giddey and Kobe White and Dosunmu. All those guys are mobile enough to defend as well. So I love that. Now, the one player that is listed that I think the Chicago Bulls were a favorite to go after, I'm not saying that I like this necessarily at all, but he could be a player that helps bridges the gap a little bit for a guy like Khalil Ware if we go with a center like that, or a Zach Edey or a Donovan Clegan. I'm going to throw that out there because we've been attached to those players. But again, I'm going to reiterate that I like Khalil Ware, but I'm going to say that player would be Jonas Valanciunas. I think that here's a guy that would probably be a good fit, because it says, look, it wouldn't surprise me to see a team with a young core bring him in as a veteran leader and maybe overpay a bit. That sounds like nothing but the Chicago Bulls right there. That line alone screams Chicago. And so, look, I think that he would be terrific in the sense that he can score in the post. He is a rim protector. He does grab boards, and he will step out and shoot an occasional three. And the one thing that I do like about Jonas is that he has played with Zion before. Like, he's been out there with the Pelicans, so he's accustomed to getting up and running the court with a young core. So I like that. If we're looking to move on from Vooch, and we're looking to get a guy that is going to help Ware get assimilated to the NBA, like, yeah, okay. I don't love it, but I like it, and I think it makes a lot of sense. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, guys. Do you like any of those three free agents that I have listed to help the Chicago Bulls in the front court? And do you feel like a guy like KCP, regardless of the fact that we probably are not going to be doing some real winning for some time, would in fact be interested in coming over to us, which I think is Pretty laughable, but I can't even laugh at that. But anyway, guys, let me know what you guys are thinking. Even though we're looking at free agents that probably are not even nearly considering us, and we're looking at some players that we should pick up that we're probably not going to pick up, I'm still saying go Bulls, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.